What's up? How's it going, guys? Today we're going over Rome by Armand Hammer, the collective of Billy Woods and ELUCID. This is an album I wanted to go over. I told you guys I would go over a couple more Armand Hammer and Billy Woods related stuff. I have a lot of fun with them, and this to me is something that I quite like. They are also two artists I quite enjoy. Um, but we're gonna kick it off with track one, Pakistani Brain. All right, Armand Hammer, produced by Messiah Music.
I'm a mathematician, but I'm not a mathematician. I wanted to be a hacker when I grew up. I'm not a hacker now that I'm all grown up. You know what? Get the fuck from around here. I was a dyke in a past life. Flannel and cat eyes. Bad pad type. Follow by shopping for cacti. You. Path alive. Path alive. Head bobbing hard to gospel at the red light. Four corners, three-headed beast. Two rollers from the 7-5. One crack to 10. Get the fuck from around here. Four corners, three-headed beast. Two rollers from the 7-5. One crack to 10. Get the fuck from around here. I seen her in that Rover before, riding slow, bumping dope on plastic from the era when the rim was spinning backwards. Coolie high slash koofy smacker, copper with a cloud kicker. Ginger in his elixir, the great mix-up. Sophistifunk, 52 hand block, fist cup. Who's pissed enough? Me, did you have enough to drink? My speech is never free, pay me what I'm worth. My speech is never free, pay me what I'm worth.
They asked Sephardim Mizrahi, replied less Selassie, more Shakti, less more foul Makti, less is more said the Iraqi, less is ghost want the great Zimbabwe, left from stagecoach to great train robbery, Castro Mugabe ain't no private property, the late Walter Rodney, detonators wasn't firing properly, sky open like Lockerbie, children of violent farms was rocking me, the sleep wet nurse up a blood with flat teeth.
Four corners, three-headed beast, two rollers from the 7-5, one crack to 10, get the fuck from around here.
Whitey swept through like Green Bay. Fuck what the team say. All he could see was gray. Still sees the day. Vice grip pliers. Paradise just beyond the Constantine wire. A liar's liar. Hebrew Israelite Holocaust denier. Widening the Gaia. Life like faceplate hit the wires. About his suppliers. Inquisitor didn't bother to inquire. Just put your feet in the fire. Your cooperation is not required. There's no choir.
Okay, there's only two. Wait, I want to know what this is. Dublin Plastic. Oh, this is a reference to Dublin Plastic by Uptown. Okay, this. The question posed relates to what Jewish ethnic group the subject belongs to: Ashkenazim, Sephardim, or Mizrahi. The three groups consist of Jews of German and French diaspora, Jews of the Iberian diaspora, and Jews of the Asian diaspora, respectively. Haile Selassie was a 20th century emperor of Ethiopia. The absence of the mention of Ethiopian Jews in the question might explain the seemingly sarcastic response, less Selassie, more Shockley. Huh. Okay. Castro Mugabe, no private property. Yes, they were both communist and Marxists. Remember that. Throwing out their names randomly with no property because all who work the land shall own it and enjoy its benefits, which is a common phrase amongst communist agenda values. Got it. Detonators wasn't firing properly as sky opened like Lockerbie. Reference to Pan Am Flight 103, which exploded over the Lockerbie, Scotland, en route from Frankfurt to Detroit in 1988. Hebrew Israelites, also sometimes referred to as Black Hebrews or Black Israelites, are a group of people from African descent who claim to be the descendants of ancient Israelites. Most also claim that Jews are not the descendants of ancient Israelites and are instead converts to Judaism. Of Khazar descent, many more outspoken sects of Hebrew Israelites are considered to be highly anti Semitic, although some Hebrew Israelites are not. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, I have nothing to speak on with this one. And this is track two, Dead Money, also produced by Messiah Music.
Dead cat bounce on that marks and angles. Get back ounce smooth Charles Wrangle, stripeless bangles. Pockets got that Bobby Jindal jangle. Still saddle, got it to Mr. Wendell. Raised the shirt, colostomy bag strap. That'll get you $1 where I live at. Bushweed in Philly, I'm bringing New York back. Cardboard box laid flat, spinning on his back. Showtime, showtime. Streets of yoga mat, warrior pose and shows. Free artisanal Negro flows you won't see up the street. Backstage roasting leaks, serving quiche rain. Non-politely the sample bass beats peak game. Nigerian Chamber of Commerce Award on the mantelpiece. Would pass the kill but can't reach. Won't move, don't care. Slow weak, old news, new scares. Cold feet, hot shoe, electric chair hair. Seaworthy or not, too late to stop, too far to turn back, too close to crack glass water. Seaworthy or not, too late to stop, too far to turn back, too close to crack glass water. Seaworthy or not, too late to stop, too far to turn back, too close to crack glass water. Open swim, circling fins, drawer full of grenade pins, grin like the light-skinned, the rich tan white men, the lost Pouncy twin, triplet. Show up at your baby mother's like, hold this biscuit, yup, he ain't about shit. The roach clip hiss, hawk spit, kung fu grip, black Farrah Fawcett, even beat, she was gorgeous as she passed mothers on porches, wolf whistles on corners, mango sutu butales, he blows smoke in Mandela's face like, fuck you, pay me, rap hands reiki, dash cam grainy, enter Sandman. I did the hammer dance, looking for a while, but it was happenstance. Shoulder shrug, cold as studio thug overdubs. They found a piece in some shrubs, microscopic droplets of blood. If God made the world, motherfucker was wearing gloves. Seaworthy or not, too late to stop, too far to turn back, too close to crack glass water. Seaworthy or not, too late to stop, too far to turn back, too close to crack glass water.
One man's revolution is another man's rhetoric. And my semi-slurred syntax isn't a clear indicator of my intelligence. Yours either, radiant child, furious style. Synthesize and divinity sound. Improvise, my eyes reflect. Mirror face like Herman Blunt and heavy foliage. Joyful noise, blacksmith in the brightest void. Built to destroy, not self-destruct. There's a time and place to not give a fuck. But right now seems so critical. I wanna see everyone who's been made invisible. Murmured voices leading my ad-libs. In a house where sadness and wrath live. No room for rent. Money came, money went. Her honeyed gaze cut like a dagger. Through pulpy flesh at the heart of the matter. She put me on game but didn't have to. I came like thunderclap followed by uncontrollable laughter. Life's ill, spin the wheel, big buck, no whammy. T-shirt tan, my van still sandy. Somewhere far from home, where you look up in the night sky. Like is this the same one I know back in NY? Wise as a serpent, no compromise in these verses. Work song, honest toil as the day is long. Word to my mommy, to the question why. It's at the end of a belt, she replied. You get that when you get it. I don't move if I don't feel it in my spirit. A lyric ain't a lyric till I spit it.
Alrighty. Ain't about shit, the roach clip, his hawk spit, kung fu grip, black fur faucet. Even beat, she was gorgeous as she passed mothers on Porsches, wolf whistles on corners. The character Woods establishes in this verse is a woman abuser, but his woman is resilient like Charlie's Angels Farrah Fawcett. What the hell? Bengosuthu, Buthlezi, blow smoke in Mandela's face like fuck you pay me, okay? I'm not gonna try and repeat that name. It's a South African politician and Zulu tribal leader. Early on its inception, Buthlezi Buthelezi was part of an anti-apartheid revolutionary party called National Congress (ANC), which is a party of Nelson Mandela. However, he later left the group to found his own group, Inkatha Freedom Party (IFP), which was more culturally Zulu focused in contrast to ANC, supposedly violent. Woods is satirizing the rivalry with the Zulu Bethulezi and Mandela's parties had during the apartheid era and beyond. He might perhaps also be alluding to the former's possible sense of being owed a debt by the ANC for his active days within the ranks. Okay. One man's revolution is another man's rhetoric, and my semi-slurred syntax is a clear indicator of my intelligence. Oh my god. Holy, I cannot read tonight. And these two lines, ELUCID exhibits a relativistic perspective on their topics. On the former, he tackles how revolutionary and groundbreaking concepts. I should also note I'm doing this at like 2 in the morning. How revolutionary and groundbreaking concepts can be from one person to another, while he tackles spoken communication on the latter. It is culturally ingrained in societies around the world that there is usually a proper way to speak, and that some accents are considered more formal or correct than others, even if they are able to communicate effectively. And the second line, Elucid, rejects this and asserts that anyone's manners of speech anyone's manner of speech does not indicate anything about their character or their intelligence. This is true. It's one thing I found that was kind of stupid. When I was in Jamaica, I always found it funny because all of them speak. I th- all of them speak completely different than how they have to speak in Parliament. There's Jamaica's English and then there's the Queen's English, and I never understood why, if a majority of a population speak a certain way, you would rather use a specific form of the language as opposed to the other that everyone can understand and everyone uses on a day-to-day basis. Never understood that. I always thought it was stupid. Okay, that's just talking about sex. Why is a serpent no compromise? And these verses work on songs, honest toil, as the day is long. The entire verse is elucid in relation to himself. He does not, as a rapper, compromise anything in his own lyrics, neither in his attitude. He publicly refused to post the lyrics to Rome before its release. Oh wow. Okay, cool. And then seaworthy or not, too late to stop, too far to turn back, too close to crack glass water. I definitely thought this was about the Titanic. I don't know why. Whether or not the character is fit for the voyage on the sea, it is too late to stop. The journey is already underway, and they would have to travel further to turn back for home than if they keep going. They are too close to the destination to crack, i.e., fail or break down. The impressionistic quality of the phrase glass water is a bit more difficult to interpret with confidence. I believe it is reinforcing the idea that it's of being too close to crack, with visuals of water that they are sailing on, cracking, giving way beneath them. Fair enough. Yeah. That is track 2. Track 3, Tread Lightly. This one is produced by August Fanon. I actually like Fanon. I like his production.
Once you came to, first question, what you gonna do with the time you got? Confused, they reiterated like gotta remember it's not a lot. It's not a lot. I applied, just watch while she administered the eye drops. Promptly redid Illmatic ball for ball, she's gotta have it shot for shot. Motherfuckers waste a lot of time, words stolen from neighbors in bodegas when I cop my paper. Now you know where I got my flavor. Like I said, it's a lot of time wasted, it's a lot. Son, we skimmed through your music, found no reason not to approve it. It was all relatively toothless, you're just a guy. Ruthless how they did root first, I let the package sit overnight. Let it open on the desk, how he live is anybody guess. Pose telltale heart, pigs wait patiently for you Negroes to confess. No rush, the wind through your shuttle, rattle the sheet metal. Pour the meat, pimps pedal, don't front like you stupid, you on day level. Pressed, pesto out of more than pestle, said presto when they found that 38 special.
Shots fired by MOS this time. Crime Central. 7-1 crime. There no shots fired at MOS. Fired by third, one in custody. For 617, you reckon? By the third, no shots fired by MOS. That's what, thank you. Don't want to pull units on scene. We're clearing everyone out here. We have multiple under 7, Lieutenant Central. Put it over to no further. They have multiple in custody.
The Wi-Fi name is Asada, is safe here. The passcode transposed and notated between kicking the snare. For whosoever believe, feeling beastly, Paul Revere. It's all gone square, sand shifting, a brief history. Take cover, tread light, I ain't got no type. Love is love, y'all. Knowing better don't mean you doing better. We watch the sky fall, lit by the moon blush dip. Soon come, blue movies on the tablet. Like I'm non-respectably ratchet. Rappers politically black, half-wit, pack split, vegetate, half-pipe, twilight. Tomorrow's just another yesterday. Several ways to skin a coon. Magnolia bloom with a blood pool. Lord, who can I run to? Live feed from Slum View. Whole crew, kick laces knotted. E&Y power violence. What up, family? Then a shot. She stopped giving bop, adjusted her top. My alarm clock is black children playing in the park. Every nigga's a star. Crowdfunded constellation, burned keloid scar. Oh, he go hard. The young guards bark. The universe is a card shark. My new studio's a smart car. Had a dream, I gifted Nardwar some Carhartt. A Spartan heart, most toxic. Hawkspit, blast my way out. Gut full of rock shrimp. With much vigor, to the rhythm of body bag zipper swipes. Never paid the asking price. Double down on paradise.
Want to read this one first? My alarm clock is black children playing in the park. Every nigga is a star. Crowdfunded constellation burned a keloid scar. These lines speak about how black people are in danger anywhere. ELUCID is saying he is awoken by gunshots aimed at black children simply playing in a park. He mentions how these deaths are crowdfunded, by these deaths being carried out by gangs, or more likely the police, which every citizen funds. Mentioning a keloid scar is referring to injuries sustained during these shootings. This establishes the theme of death around Armand Hammer. We'll explore in the following track, Carnies. Okay. Every nigga is a star, referencing to Boris Grander's Every Nigga is a Star, famously sampled by Kendrick Lamar on Wesley's Theory. Good song, too. Said presto, when they found the 38 special, they placed it there. They said presto like a magic trick because of how it appears. So they planted evidence, okay? I replied, just watch while she administered the eye drops. Okay, so, yeah, it's a movie reference. Words stolen from the neighbors in bodegas when I caught my paper. I could be wrong. Okay. The neighbors gossiping over what he says while he's at the store, copying papers to smoke. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's nothing else I really want to look into. Alright. Track 4, Carnies. Produced by, featuring Makami. Hold on. And it's produced by Masai Music. Oh my god, I heard this song. I knew tonight would be the end. I knew tonight is the end of my life. I knew tonight
cuff the mic, trap the sound, pressure buzz pipes, watership down, this all block, we just let you come around, now you making us hot, no good deed unpunished, popcorn in a bucket, watch the stock plummet like I knew tonight would be the end of my life, I knew tonight would be the end of my life, I'm new tonight and it's the end of my life, I knew tonight.
There will be no more evictions. We're letting the projects rot. Impurities you couldn't boil out the pot. As your body fails, scaling the roof, ladders and shoot, vertical patrol and pursuit. Jump man, is it the shoes? Swoosh. I hate the suits and waking life. When I die, keep the top button fastened. My hard bottom shining, I'ma slide on you paints. Hard in the paint, bully foot, do what you can. I might not make it. Get deep behind me, Satan. Slide naked, drape them, since yay high. Knowing something chasing, won't catch me running. If they clap me at a standstill, please burn this motherfucker down. Strays from the tray pound. I got a harp in my head, a tune, strumming the cloud. Vibration changing, feel like it's gonna be a situation. I knew tonight would be the end of my life. I knew tonight would be the end of my life. I knew tonight.
Hey yo, I knew tonight the lizard in the suit and the right.
I hate that so much, but it's so perfect because of Makami. The little known thing about Makami, you cannot get a hold of his lyrics at all. He actually uses DMCA quite beautifully. He made it so that you can't find his lyrics. So you literally have to just take in what he says, which is also why the lyrics at the end here just cut off. Even though he's obviously on the song. It's a beautiful thing to do.
Make the arm hair on the movie electrical like lights. I boost the price, you niggas never do what you like. Heck, 100s ever move immeasurable bright light. My record pool is like the Mariana Trench, we hypervent. Ineffable, we tetragram of 10, 12 pounds of mint in the 10-pound MCM BIM. Deoxyribonucleic chains, icy like trichomes don't ever wane. It contains copyrights, godstones in the chains. Niggas change once a night. I knew tonight this wasn't my slice. Smoke you like grapevine before you fuck on my wife. Cassette with no bias, buckle up the reference supply. Quiet on set. Direct is directing niggas with prize. Spying call centers, collecting niggas signs.
Alright. I wish we could go over the other half. This is nice though. I'm new tonight and I knew tonight would be the end of my life. I knew tonight would be the end. I'm new tonight. It's the end of my life. I knew tonight. I don't know. It's extremely catchy for some reason. But no, it definitely does feed more into how death will take you to a more peaceful place, in my head at least, from this end. Because he goes, I knew tonight would be the end of my life. I knew tonight would be the end. I'm new tonight. And I just feel like that's like, he was like, okay, I know I'm gonna die, but if I'm gonna die, then I'm a new man, even though it's the end of my life. I don't know. That might be a thing on my end. I wish we could go over Makami's lyrics, but as you can tell, these lyrics are intentionally locked and left partial due to DMCA takedown request. Please do not edit the lyrics to include the removed sections. Per Mac the Homie. And I can live with that. You may also know that I have changed how big my genius is because the lyrics did not fit. On to track 5. Track 5, Dry Ice, produced by Fresh Kills.
Yeah, I wasn't on the block, but you still got a fiend shock. Elections over, but the robocalls never stop. Negotiations broke down, they said ain't Robocop. I don't know nothing, I don't call a lot. Answering the phone phone like you know I want something. Hey, you not wrong. She said come inside if you coming, so we bet the form. Anything I ever got was on the arm. Anything I ever got was on my own. Man, geese through how I watch the throne. Type of kid who never wanna be at home. Be in the park shooting hoops alone. In the dark, red flag, but what you really gonna do for him? He already gone. Once they put him in the hole, he was ready for him. Submit the verse, long form, still put it on Twitter for you silly niggas. Walk past homeless like cry me a river. No question about it, Doc, I'm getting sicker. When she said the magic word, definitely got bigger. No question about it, I'm definitely getting sicker. Smoke like dry ice, every line is a mirror. Try as they might, never see him clearer. What he most wanted, she wouldn't give. Took everything else, he the type to do it big. It's like an ocean out there, sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under the undertow. It's like an ocean out there, sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under the undertow. It's like an ocean out there, sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under the undertow. It's like an ocean out there, sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under the undertow. It's like an ocean out there, sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under the undertow. It's like an ocean out there, sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under the undertow.
The universe is unbothered. What's the matter if I murder a few rap bloggers? Him, history told by a conqueror. Rounded the remains of the nearest tenth. Tell me how I grip the brain like it's his. Leave no print, skin to skin. Wickedness in high places, watch shin. Sword play, bounty of war, red sauce, pork base. Storm chase, trying to melt my face on my born day. Shape of things to come, practicing for a world where they don't exist. Pigs that shoot hoops with the kids. A few months later, slapping cuff hoops on their wrists. Running off script, pop, smoke, sniff. Psychotropic dose, pockets open, swear to no one. I know oceans, I got no lungs.
Okay. Chorus is partly rephrasing the lyrics from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 song Message. Okay. I saw this in the beginning. Election's over, but the robocalls never stop. Which is something that I still find annoying. During election season, sometimes you get the spam calls saying, go out, go vote, go vote, go vote. And then they say who they want you to vote for. Even after election stops, you still get those calls. If you are registered to vote, sometimes your name is also on list for just spam calls, and it's annoying. It's like with colleges. If you go to a community college, they will call you incessantly for pretty much anything. So like weather alerts, anything like that, they call you. Which, I mean, makes sense, but still. But it's the same thing with elections. Even when they're over, you still have the chance of receiving like spam calls of just stupidity. To be like, hey, did you vote for? And you're just like, I don't really personally care. Like, what am I supposed to do? Try and pick the better of two evils every year? I'm good off that. All right. Anything I ever got was on my arm. Anything I ever got was on my own. Okay. Getting something on the arm, cuff, front, as a term used in drug dealing. You essentially take the product now and pay for it later. Billy saying anything he got it on his own could be his way of saying he built a level of trust and reputation with his dealers based off loyalty and consistency. Okay, Mengistu how I watched the throne. Mengistu Haile Mariam was the president of Ethiopia from 1987 to 1991. He helped overthrow the monarchy and achieved his goal through violent means. Of course, Billy likens himself to Mengistu, inferiority in maintaining their leader status. Billy is referring to his position in the rap game. I would have said his position in drugs, but that makes sense too. Smoke like dry ice. Every line is a mirror. I don't get what that means, and this is why Genius has annotations. This for me is personally one of the most okay, I don't want to know. Every line is a mirror has a double meaning. Billy is not only stating that he uses cocaine often, but he also states every line in his work is a reflection of his feelings towards himself. Okay. I don't know why we need tidbit but it's cool. Oh yeah. Um, being recorded with phones in 2010s. People also started to record videos of police officers playing basketball with black kids in their neighborhoods to help spread the not all cops narratives. Not all cops hate black people. Look, here's a video of an officer with some 15-year-old black kids. Those same cops will unapologetically arrest the same kids 2 months later. This isn't saying cops hate black people. Lucid's point is the police job is to enforce the law. Their job is not to be our friends just because they play game. Just because they played basketball with black kids can give those kids the wrong impression. That the cops will be easier on them if they engage in an activity that relates to them. That's a form of subtle deception that many people don't pick up on in America. Well, yeah. Shit, the cop could be your family. They still have to arrest you if you do something wrong, so. Alright. Track 6 is Microdose featuring Quell Chris and is produced by Fanon. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. I was born in the year this country's last recorded lynching. My question is who stopped recording? The great deceiver, name names, son of the morning. I'm drawn in, hauntological flu, spook you out your Yeezy boots.
Speaking of which, they haven't stopped lynching people. I need to say this now. They are still doing that in certain places in America. They lynched a kid. I believe it was on a college campus. Or no, it wasn't on a college campus. It was at one of those well, I guess you could say it was a college campus. It's not really a college. It's one of those places people go for job reasons. So they work with the kids, they get them jobs afterwards. I think it's a job camp or something. I forgot the actual name of it, but they found him hanging, lynched. So lynchings have not stopped. They lynched another black kid. I forget which state it was, but this has not stopped yet. And I don't think anyone stopped recording per se, but I feel like people just stopped giving it as much attention as it really deserves sometimes. Because lynching is still a problem. Racism is still technically a problem. But the fact that we're still lynching people is insane. And lynching is not an easy way to go. I've never understood why people think if you hang yourself, you just, crack and you're gone. No, you suffocate. Especially if it's not done right, you just sit there suffocating. It actually gets worse if you do it the wrong way. So I never understood that. Back to the track. Sorry about that.
Fuck that. How long we gotta wait to come and kick back on that same old, the root's not working, but I'm still here to tell you so. Life is for the living, I'm the solution, I'm the condition, I'm a symptom, I'm a witness. First instant, seeing my soul above my bed hung suspended, and I knew I could've left here, that's not a bad thing. Slap on the wet wear, they say the hex here, near it by and by, it's alright. There be a certain sensitivity. Niggas cast spells every day, bitch. Rip the veil of mystery. Wait, see, there's a history. Twist the leaf, let the bush talk. Flame shake, pitchfork. I'm no man of the cloth. When the cannon went off, heaviest cross to carry. They say one of the 4 horsemen was Iraq. The people earn what they deserve. You are the beast you worship. I rose and born the third. Planetary purge. Panic prone paralysis. Evacuate. Raining chaos on your calculus. Name a date.
I am not astounded. I am not surprised. I am not astounded. I am not surprised. I am not astounded. I am not surprised. I am not astounded. I am not surprised.
Power in the locks, display the top, the cat piece. Still laughing at the fake woke who told me it wasn't nappy enough. Handcuffing season is back, cousin. Watch out for law lovers and keep your wrists buttered up and slick. For the sly and the wicked, no houses dropped on witches, no blind I wonder if Steve pondered the fuss over pet rocks and fidget spinners. House niggas still get field dinners served. Ironic like Orenthal James was scurry. That win in golf in the presence of rock legends, you are not worthy. Darwinian pins destroy and rebuild is major key. So we clearing house like shipping CDs out COD. You need a break, take a knee. You need a skank, break a rib. Word of G-O-D, open your lid, set it free. I hope your mind don't find its way back before you rise and break free. The road less traveled wasn't gravel for safety. So when we move to Plan Z, don't go tattle the Jakes, please and thanks.
I kill Tupac and I kill Biggie. I kill them all because they can't contain my rap game. Hey! Up the roof. I kill you all now.
No, calm down. You killed? You killed. Your lyric will put you in trouble. You have to be very careful. You don't just go about saying things that you don't know.
Cracks start to show, bleak and shadow. I'm from the dirt, rolling garrows. That's rich for what it's worth. Gonna need both those barrels. Kid next tell chirp. My ancestors, you gonna need more than bows and arrows. You dig? That's my word. Can't say anymore, probably said too much. This an open line, they retroactive with stuff. But if it was me, I'd probably kill the chief. Peace, don't come cheap. Jacob Zuma at the computer, still waters run deep. The boa blanch when he reached for the machine. Sleight of hand just to rip the pockets out your jeans. Mom's like, what the hell happened to those dungarees? But enough about me. Your intro's too long, you ain't Ghost to Ray. Charlie Wingate in jail, you can't just up and ride that wave. It's like niggas skip track 9 on the purple tape. Chris like Woods, you overlooking the fact they got beats for days. I had to concede the beats was indeed flames, which only made it more of a shame.
Okay. Your intro's too long, you ain't Ghost and Ray. Charlie Wingate in jail. You can't just up ride that wave. That's like niggas skipped track 9 on the purple tape. Taking his contemporaries in the rap game to task, where he proceeds to be an abundance of formulaic unoriginal material and culture that favors cult personality over a natural quality of music. Ghostface Killer and Raekwon, 2 members of Wu-Tang Clan, who are regular collaborators, are known for often dedicating greater than usual lengths of times to long track introduction skits, which they air out their feelings and indulges, which Woods apparently feels MCs of their caliber have earned, unlike modern day counterparts. He hears partaking in similar practices, perhaps notable on the night track of Raekwon's Praise solo debut, only built for Cuban links. Track named The Purple Tape, due to the color of the cassette, was originally released on a minute-and-a-half rant named Short Niggas Biters, in which 2 put their peers on notice about copying styles of others. Charlie Wingate, the real name of the Harlem MC Max B, who, despite only ever releasing 1 official album, managed to exert a large degree of influence over the hip-hop genre through a constant stream of mixtape material that he pumped out. Max was locked up in 2009 for an alleged involvement in orchestrating a fatal armed robbery. He was originally handed 75 prison sentence. It was later reduced to a 20 years plea deal. And Woods is critical of the manner in which other artists copied the style he created whilst he is serving out his jail sentence. The reference to copycats writing Next wave is a nod to the term wavy, essentially a sort of catch-all the way to refer to anything that is cool, gutter cool, which is often associated with Max, who is largely credited with popularizing it in the hip-hop world. Okay, holy biography, but that makes sense. Ironic, like Renthal James with scurvy. OJ. Renthal and James were 2 names behind the initials of the Hall of Fame former NFL running back that famous murder trial participant O.J. Simpson, who was nicknamed the Juice, throughout his career, presumably due to OJ being his common way in which people refer to the drink orange juice. The irony is Simpson contracting scurvy to is somewhat tongue-in-cheek, deriving from the fact that the disease is caused by a severe vitamin C deficiency, a nutritional element which is often found in oranges and which oranges contain in abundance. Jesus Christ. How do you get scurvy and be named after the one thing that could probably save you from that? Okay, this is just a reference to Beware by Death Grips. And then this is him just processing that he was born in a very progressive day for race issues, but then denying that that has really changed and that everything's being covered up. And he's not wrong, everything is being covered up. Like I said before, there have been more lynchings since that point up until today. So thinking about it, like he was probably born in the 1990s, maybe a little earlier than that. And I think the last I heard about a lynching was either this year or last year. So not much has changed. And he's right. It's not really a cover up. It's just the media doesn't cover it the way they should. And this is why I say sometimes things like TikTok can be extremely influential for certain reasons. Like when people genuinely log in and put their 2 cents together and rub their two brain cells next to each other and create some electrons and get some shit firing, they can actually put out some things that are semi-informative. And then sometimes we just don't do that and we shitpost. I shitpost. Like, that's just the truth. All right. Uh, Track 7. This is Fanan's Ghost, produced by Fanan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It could be Fanon. I'm gonna go with Fanon from now on. Track 7, Fanon's Ghost.
I did the dirty work, you kindly cut my
piece first. Oh my god, I've heard this one too.
Showed up on time, I'm the worst. We don't even have to argue, I'm checked out and nerd. My lawyer argued I gave the green away like Starburst. Chapter and verse, the devil quote, better than the passage of church. Jungle fever, as you know, Kurtz's thirst, the bottomless hole. Down bottom, you gotta let some things go. You better know. I listen to their stories and hear what wasn't told. Tap to the side of the nose.
For certain, our prophets have come and gone. Nothing ever really dies, the light only transform. Murder, more murder, more murder, more rider of the storm. At war with the mystic, horn in the distance. They don't read enough poetry to flow with me. Brethren, cisgen, and gender fuck. No weapon formed to hinder us. Freedom not given but deliberately engineered. No mystery hidden, it's all in the clear. Worse for the wear, light bursts from a flare, impenetrable black. They scared to say.
Damn. That Jesus Christ. The beat for this is extremely grimy. It hits extremely hard. I enjoy it. Other than that, I mean, listen, the beat is extremely grimy. Everything on here seems to be without annotation, per usual. I've noticed that with a lot of the older Armand Hammer works. But I want to see this. Don't worry, it's just a meme. It's just a meme. My hands are clean. It's just a meme. This has a similar tone to a line on Steak Knives. Nah, it's just a line. It's just a line. I don't know. It's the only thing on here with annotations, other than like no weapon formed will hinder us, which is Bible reference. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn. Nobody's gonna be hurting ELUCID, his brothers and sisters. But nothing ever really dies. The light only change form. Murder more, murder more. Rider of the storm, war with the mystic, horn in the distance. The only thing I can think of is Aries with this. I don't know why. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was Greek mythology where the soul is seen as a form of light. When it's brought down to Hades, it's seen as a simple flame. And if I'm not mistaken, Aries is the god of war, bloodlust, and one other thing that I don't remember. Also, in Greek mythology, I remember they had the chariots for the front lines. At war with the mystic, I know they had a lot of other shit with fate. And then horn in the distance. I don't know if they ever used horns in battle. That's the only thing that throws me off. So I could be wrong. It's the bottom half of this is definitely more spiritual though. Elucid always strikes me as the more spiritual one of the two. I mean, granted, they did smoke a strain of weed called church, so. On to the next one. This one is called Sham God. It is produced by High Priest. It features Denmark Vesey. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm looking for something similar. Sorry about that. All right. Sham God. Track 8.
Yo, thank you, Lord. I can recognize the blessing. Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I swear. Yeah. I appreciate light, clean air. Yeah, one. You know what I mean? Lord. Thank the Lord. Yeah. Thank the Lord, the world effed up. Make the common man even fall and step up. Stepped in the power vacuum and got my dick sucked. In the era where the big wigs say blatant fibs, all the real niggas can't shoot straight and spray the kids. In this white man world, you got two options. Either you take digs or you ain't shit. My inner child's in the school to prison pipeline. Meanwhile, I'm like a kid in a 40 tied to a kite line. Keeping one Benjamin, homie, I'm like a zeitgeist. I can turn the wave to a sign after the spike died.
The assassin shots a sour mash to a pressure structures collapsing. Rhyme pattern taxing, taking half. This black boy magic, not no rabbit. I don't do Sam hat shit. My bootstrap, they make it past my calf. Flash, bang, grenade, I'm on your ass. My craft came of age since in pre-millennium tension. This one's face is authentic. Skin of tooth, two-tin tree, take flight, roof to roof.
Stop trying to scroll for the lyrics. I was too focused.
Thank you, Lord, for everything you've given me. Great. Thank you, universe, for everything you've given me. Thank you. Great. I know what comes with this. Yeah. I'm grateful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Denmark Vesey brings a nice energy to this. From far away, tapes sound like LeBron Flocka James. Come closer for that. Come to Jesus moment. LeBron Flocka James is a mixtape by Waka Flocka Flame. Full of super bassy 808s from far away. You can hear the bass. Billy's music might seem like that too, but when you come closer, you have a spiritual awakening at how good he is. Listen, like I said before, ELUCID is definitely the more spiritual half of this group, but Denmark is also surprisingly, because I've never heard of the artist before, is also surprisingly spiritual. Lots of ties to the Lord and being grateful to the universe. So manifestation. I still confused on this. Watch your mouth if your jaw like lighting hit sand. When sand gets hit by lightning, it turns to glass. Oh, okay. Don't talk shit if you have a glass jaw. Oh, yeah, because if you get hit in the mouth, you're just cooked. Listen, and boxers pride themselves on not being able to just get chin tapped. All right, on to track, what, 9? Yeah, track 9. Track 9, Stole, produced by Messiah Music. There are a couple of music videos on here, so those will be up soon.
A rig casino trying to save the whales. Mind the shell, drill baby drill, whether to China or hell. Murder rate falling, everybody on pills. Beef fizzling out, rappers not trying to get killed. Say la vie, said the old folks, just go to show you never can tell. You never can tell, let's keep it real. When I told them what happened, niggas shrugged like, oh well. Niggas shrugged like, oh well. Whole country out on bail. Whole country out on bail. Larry's arguing with the 2 wars. Each war seemed like the war before. It's a shell game, you following cards. Dog, it's not about a bodyguard. Your A&R never shot his way out of parking garage. Now it's not no A&R, it's not really nothing at all. Desperation, dancing with the stars. See the writing on the wall, nigga, it's writ large. They emptied out the vault, nobody fought, you ain't get charged. That's on you, man. You ain't get yours. Tell them why you mad, they'll tell you why you poor. They got rats in the floor, you better get yours. You better get yours. Tell them why you mad, they'll tell you.
So delicate, well it is, flowing off the skids, slang hammer, moke you out and dip back to Wakanda. Drowsy river rambler, ayahuasca, tie my hand, shuffling tarot, better like dreaming of Blanco Langosta. When wasn't it for the culture? Vulture been out babbling bullshit, lash from the bullwhip, it's a fool's gift, don't you move, bitch.
Not A&R, it's really nothing at all. What's this underlining the absolucies of the position of artists and repertoire within record label. Artists are now more than ever going independent and skewing the need for major labels and their trapping. Also, he's using a play on words to refer to the possible A&R who failed to shoot their way out of a parking lot. In the previous line, it is probably shut up and dead themselves. Yeah, A&R never shot his way out the parking garage. It's not really nothing at all. Could be Wood's way of emphasizing how easy it is for artists to help themselves. Sans A&R these days. Holy, yeah, I just went sped for a second trying to read. Woods makes an allusion to the lyrics of the song You Can Never Tell by Chuck Berry. Okay. Mind the Shell, Drill Baby Drill, whether to China or hell. All right, because people used to say you could dig to the other side of the earth, but technically, if you try digging to the other side of the earth, you'd have to go through the core of the earth, which is basically hot as shit. This is a pun. Woods employs a double entendre to the word shell. He metaphorically compares the mind to a shell and that it protects the individual. He extends the shell's usage to compare the mind to a weapon. This is done to eluding the Republican campaign slogan "Drill Baby Drill," and which support for petrol companies like Shell driving energy was expressed. However, Wood somewhat lampoons the aggressive use of the mind by exaggerating the intent of the slogan bearers, who don't seem to care for the consequences. They apparently mean to drill to China or hell. Moreover, Woods could be making a wider political commentary on conservatives too. Fair enough. I have no complaints with these annotations. Like I said, it's like 2 in the morning when I'm recording this, so my brain is just kaput right now. I'm really relying heavily on these annotations to save me. All right, on to track 10. It was written. Gotta load this. It's louder on my end.
Picture me rolling, man. You only dream pictures. Snake devoured tails, circle vicious. Search for words like how can I put this when this itself is amorphous. One set of footprints out the valleys are gorgeous. Gorgeous, afterlife's borders porous. Monotheist built a fortress. This a landline, it's just cordless. You never heard a dial tone in your life. You never laid awake for that call in the night. Wish you dreamt it all. My father's killer came to make right. I heard him and my mother from the hall. Still see it like Neanderthal wall, not no written language. They said the greats ain't right shit, they just poured out their anguish. And the Henny flowed like rivers, and the blunts was like Shaq fingers. And men's is men, bitches was bitches. Always paradise until the first one started snitching. It was written.
Yeah.
Terror in the name of law and order. Summer sidewalk burn club foot caustic. Pigeon toe field nigga holler reach corporate. Pork belly future ride the warship. Dancing underwater and not getting wet. Shackle on neck, I woke erect. Knew right and wrong before the ride of correction. Had to move on, they couldn't answer my question. My discography is a radical act of love and protection. From chaos, bomb blast blown in every which direction. Put on the whole armor, get back before karma. Send out a word, adrenaline surge, first intifada. Who taught you manhood, my nigga? You never met your father.
Wasn't shit anyway.
Popular opinion, but let's be honest. Where's the difference between a threat and a promise? Who the fuck want what? Unanswered question we've been asking for the longest. For the longest, stabbing off hook connection cordless. Made a bed of black orchids in the Leviathan's fortress. It's 2017 and Flint still ain't got clean water. Cough up a lung where I'm from. There were many, there were none. Off the head, get retarded. The dumb, the hardest to stun. Phases on, phases on, phases on.
All right, that was a seemingly more terrifying video than I thought it was gonna be. I like how he said it's 2017 and Flint still doesn't have clean water. It's 2026, almost 2027, and they don't have clean water yet. They're so cooked on that. Man, who taught you manhood, my nigga? You never met your father. You know what? I don't even need the annotation for that. That's some real shit. Yeah, that's referring to that. Rod of correction, that's a bit Bible line. Pigeon toe is a condition where toes point inward. ELUCID flips this to predict civility. It also ties in with the previous mention of clubfoot. Got it. Okay, cool. And this is Ouroboros, alluding to this ancient symbol Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail, representing the cycle of life and death. Woods flips it, however, by pairing it to the idiom vicious circle. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it showed an extension cord plugged into itself. That's like it. You can't provide power to yourself. It's weird. Because on one end, technically, electricity could go in one end and come out the other, but then it's just a vicious circle of basically power going in, power coming out, power going in, power coming out. But I'm probably just rambling on that one. All right, track 11. Track 11, Dianetics, featuring Curly Castro, produced by Messiah Music. And then we have 2 music videos after that. One of which will probably be cut, because it's 6 minutes long. But yeah. It's not playing. Track 11, Dianetics. Hopefully it loads. There we go. I don't remember this track. I heard this in my random SoundCloud rotation.
Party planning done exist.
helicopters circling. Still don't make no black cops believers. Waterboard some blue terror into my nostrils. I breathe through my gills. Got Aaron Apostle sitting in the seance. Cross from Sonia Sanchez. Master that my mouth science, and then we break bread. Put our omic heads together, turn profit. QEP's goes points out, pick agnostics. Ran into Medusa in hell. Give her a shotgun. Lift the L and then inhale. What mean I got, son? What mean I got, son? What mean I got?
Got the whole world in his hands. Little mama, she just wanna dance. He got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world in his hands. Mistook the stick for an olive branch.
Black Messiah bias in the dialogue. Highest law, non-cypher when you're higher called. By and large folk, they don't know the science on assignment, don't get fired on. Stat on you locals, blowing through. Air in the vocals, leaving room for poison darts to fly by and poke you. Real God require blood, might sacrifice you to ocean. Cold blue, don't remove the harpoon. Use a mark fool, your cave bitch swoon. The God's magnetic, stretch weight measured. Hyrex metric, the dad won't get it bet. Lost trial, don't leave the AI to archive. Dark time, popping bar flies with the carbine. Raw high, spectacular. A channeler, a gentleman, it's him again. World passport, global citizen. It's him again. It's him again. It's him again. It's them again.
Yeah. This thing is just chunked full of shit. 99 Problems. Better show your work. Obvious reference to Jay-Z's 99 Problems. In math classes, when doing tests, you often have to show your work, writing out the equations when used to get the answer, what applies the concept to real life situations, saying you better be transparent about how and why you made moves you made, or else the solution may not even count towards much, as you might still be killed if it's not all above board. Got it. William Hurt played Nick Carlton, the Big Chill, who was characterized as forthright, sensible, brusque. In other words, he kept it real. Got it. Travel with 50 boxes of dirt, bloodsuckers, motherfuckers. Never loved us, bastard children. Okay. Woods is referring to Bram Stoker's Dracula, which follows Count Dracula's attempt to move from Transylvania to London in order to feed eternally on the large metropolitan population. In the process, he takes 50 boxes of ancestral earth with him to sleep on. Written at the turn of the 20th century, Dracula was chiefly concerned with globalization and Western civilization's anxieties about mixing with Eastern, particularly non-white and non-Christian cultures. Okay. Here's the other one. The ideology has been installed in him, makes him sick, as bodily reaction is to excavate it via throwing up. However, this move your master's double entendre of altering your master's recording and moving that which masters your life comes at a cost. He has to fight himself and fight his own mind. Okay. Cold blue, don't remove the harpoon. You use a mark fool. Your cave bitch swoon. Cold blue, he needs immediate medical attention. He's been made a sacrifice by his lover's fates. Okay. And then the god's magnetic strength weighed, measured Pyrex measures, so the dab won't get it. Bang, lost trial. The essence of divinity is not measurable in the way ways in which humanity associates with reality. To understand it requires a leap of faith, imagination of larger and more versatile reality. The confines of our reality is too narrow to handle such a task, so it's a lost trial to try. Okay. And then a channeler and gentleman, it's him again. A new prophet, channeler emerges, it's him again, could refer to a new prophet or divine essence that is being channeled through, or like the start of the verse, a false divinity created by the devil. Got it. Cool. On to track 12. which is another music video. Track 12, Pergamon.
I woke up thinking about this planet being wiped away. Well, maybe not the planet, because the Earth takes care of itself. But
This reminds me of a bar from Billy Woods where he said he was building
turn on the radio and
houses all summer.
Russia was finna send rockets to space to blow up satellites and knock out power grids. And here, I suck my teeth and kiss wrist.
7 horrors of Babylon, scratched in the palm of a vagabond. Matter and form, I'm at where I belong. Dedicated to babies who came feet first. James Bird drag along, back 'em off, blasted on. Shrapnel, gloss, glass, and steel thunderclap, running back Gotham. Necessary toxins locked in. Jot what I feel as my heart spin. Commonwealth, living wages, human income. Whichever way the wind run. Earth eater and a pair of velvet creepers, like body dream work. Spirit weaver, do your research. Every ball's a keyword. Non-ether, get up the reword. Loop back and reverse into new unexpected patterns with the intention to destabilize language to really get at the core what's happening. Tools of war plus sacrament. Take, eat, this is my body. Take, eat, this is my body. At the mercy of forces that can be explained, extrapolated, and feared. No, we don't say that word around here. No, we don't say that word around here. Mark on the door is home spared. Poems and prayers. Was it a hoax or did they really disappear? My folks be more than aware. Year after year after year after year after year after year after year. We gon' thrive out here, Blair. Blair.
Well said. Here, here. I, for one. A long and storied history of fake thugging. KG wasn't around for boss, mean mugging. Tupac went to art school, but look at the grave they dug him. And then you shoot your cousin. 6 feet deep before you realize you dug it. Rats with the cat drug in, beloved. On the headstone, but she at home dug in. Stock bones piled in the pot bubbling. Effortlessly danced from swings to the truncheon. She said, I'm not fitting to have a drug dealer for a husband. End of discussion. And it was.
Okay.
Regardless, the racket Slazenger. Dawkins, the 57 passenger. Dungeon Wars was his calendar. Lucy in the Sky was the challenger. A balance in all things, yes. Still half surprised, half impressed at who's still cashing checks. Like who the fuck still smoking swag sets? Who? Smiling in a hospital bed wearing a vest, niggas sick. They really wanted to be 96. Talk about trauma. And if that blew up, they come to your talk with the llamas.
I don't think I'm gonna cut the next track in half and I'm gonna just let it go. Here it is. A long storied history of fake thugging. Woods appears to be critiquing sometimes prevailing the need to be seen as a tough guy that exists in hip hop culture, which he feels takes on a quality of self-fulfilling prophecy, and what it often leads to senseless, seemingly inevitable acts of violence. Tupac Shakur, an intelligent, thoughtful, and principled individual, did indeed attend the school for arts in Baltimore as a youngster, but all the education and positive qualities he had were unable to save him from the violent, untimely death when he was gunned down at the age of just 25. The line, "And then you shoot your cousin," is a direct quote from KRS-One track "Step Into the World's Rapturous Delight," taken from the 1997 album I Got Next, in which KRS essentially makes the same point that rappers are so concerned with looking hard that they needlessly end up harming their own people. Steady packing a gat if something's gonna happen, but doesn't then wind up they shooting they bug him. Legendary Philadelphia hip hop crew The Roots named their 11th studio album after the lyric in 2014, and the group's MC Black Thought describing the record as rumination on violence in not only hip hop culture but America in general. Okay, cool. That's the only thing I wanted to get out the way. Next music video, Barbarian and Overseas. It's a 2-for-1. I'm gonna let the full thing play. I'm not cutting it in half. Most of these songs, you notice some of them are snipped. That is also for video reasons. But I'm gonna let the full track play. I might pause once or twice. Let's get into it. Barbarians, Overseas, track 13.
Just off the sound of the car doors closing, I knew it was
That is
indeed,
beautiful.
man, I knew it was indeed.
Is Billy in a
Mad
suit?
men and cowards, mad shatter, no flowers. The mad hatter asking DJ Vlad, do words even matter? Electric bastards raised on stepfather
What's a
black
lucid doing?
laughter. Indentured but
And a
honest
lucid is
bastards,
wearing a-
Yakov's ladder.
I'm gonna say something and someone's gonna take offense to it. Billy looks like he just got done with a job interview, and Elucid looks like he just got done being a barista. I'm sorry I had to say it. Shoot at me in the comments if you want. It's true.
After, you might be surprised
However, the cardigan is fire.
who clap, who scatter, who survive, who captured, with the Jew in the rafters. Reading history backwards, back mass Judas Priest lack his black mass burning backwards. Might pay a rapper back taxes. Emperor at the gate, on his throne, in state, gold herringbone, elegant canes. Don't mistake me for the hayseeds and rules if it's all the same. Worn the finest linens, Guardian shoes, invisible chains. The crowd roars, the crowd rages, the crowd's bored, open the cages. For barbarian hordes, we waiting. I grew up around dogs that's racist. Fathers took firing pins out guns, gave them to us to play with. That's just the basics. Basically, they all had two faces.
They took the firing pins out so the guns couldn't shoot and gave them to the kids to play with. But that just sounds like he's going to teach senseless violence over time and make them extremely comfortable with using weapons in real life. I don't know why I had to pause for that.
Learn young what it takes to stay in the king good graces.
Learn young what it would take to stay in the king's good graces. Okay.
It's all very interesting, but not very interesting at all. It's all very interesting, but not very interesting at all. It's all very interesting, but not very interesting at all. It's all very interesting, but not very interesting at all.
Show me your commandment.
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Empire cycle with a time to be sedated. Narco haven, the lower the wage, the bigger the gauges. With no regard to rising inflation. Doubling down on shackling multiple generations in cages. For every goddamn body, for every goddamn body. Pimp C, slumber melody, circle me on the mobile. New Testament God seeming like a no-show. Cross lowered from an icon to just a logo. By the boatload, on a vessel named Jesus. Suicide jumping slow-mo. Water ripple like he's skipping stones. Cast your wounds, gone roll. Backwood the back roll, when in Rome, watch the sky fall. Overseer cyborg, terrorized for high score. Raising the ghetto with brown eyesore. Locked door, no knob, off-white, chop hard. Slide firearm out, where you talking about? White terror coming many fall, where you talking about? Violent and or economic, father your era scars of our bondage. Look how I hold on to them chains, look how I hold on to them chains.
I don't want to be obtuse. Right here with you.
It's all very interesting, but not very interesting at all. It's all very interesting, but not very interesting at all. It's all very interesting, but not very interesting at all. It's all very interesting, but not very interesting at all.
Show me your commandment. Show me your
And this one's overseas. Okay.
Fried death washed down with coke. Comfortable high post, divided the gross at 4-day kitchen table, surrounded by ghosts. Ghanaian grandmother watching American soaps. Yo, she don't speak no English? He shrugged like, let's go. As far as the rest, don't really remember. Being honest, it's just another day in September. Looking back, he knew it was over when he said chances were slender. What composure? Bury me at sea, one last photograph, stiffening blood streak. Bury me a G on repeat. Your story don't add up like Warren G. Jay reflected, grab the feet, heating them in on three. Each man sinks with the sum of their deeds. Cassette tapes delivered by couriers to consulates anonymous. A great weight lifted, yet felt listless, ocean bottomless. Save the date down there with the crabs and octopus. Set the bait, wait, watching yourself through binoculars.
The outfit change was good. I didn't even notice it until he laid across the boat. I think that's it. Huh? Okay, so that's both songs. There's no point in me playing overseas. This is Barbarians. Electra's Bastards raised on the stepfather Black Laughter. Electra's Bastards possibly referring to KMD and their album Black Bastards that was shelved because the album art was too controversial at the time. The album was supposed to be released by Elektra in 1994. KMD was allowed to own the masters to the album connecting the following line. Okay, here it is. Cross lowered from an icon to just a logo. ELUCID uses the play on word icon, which means crucifixion was taken from an icon, an image of Jesus, and that it was taken from being an iconic in the graphic user interface sense and converted to a logo. The subtext here could imply the significance of Jesus' teachings being watered down from something more grandiose or iconic to something lesser and superficial or representative, like a logo. Within the context of the verse, the cross may have been lowered because Jesus has been a no-show as promised in the New Testament. This was alluded to in the previous line. By the boatload on a vessel named Jesus, suicide jump in slow-mo. ELUCID is speaking on the slave ship named Jesus, where slaves jumped into the oceans to be free from their oppressors. Big thing about that, a lot of the reason it says suicide jump in slow-mo is because a lot of slaves couldn't swim. And even if they could, the chances of making it to land out in the middle of the ocean were slim. So when they would jump, they would die. They would be free from their oppressors. However, it was a suicide to jump off basically the bows of these ships. And then, yes, you have now seen me scroll. And then Overseas, which is the second song of that. Doesn't have any annotations, but there's a line here. Where is it? Here it is. Gone and grandmother watching American soaps. Yo, she don't speak no English. He shrugged. Let's go. I always found it crazy how people could live in America for decades, man. Like generations, and the older generations, their concept of English is very poor. But then again, I also feel like the younger generation doesn't do a lot to help the older generation, especially those that are here now, to kind of learn English. A big thing for me with my grandmother and my grandfather is like, they're both technically immigrants. Like my great grandmother, my grandmother, and my grandfather. Like my great grandmother's English is good, but it's not great. My grandmother's English is good, but it's not great. My grandfather has Jamaican English, so his English is good. It's just you can tell when he switches back to being in Jamaica instead of America, and you realize over time how these languages kind of wiggle their way out of other people. And I feel like sometimes a big thing that a lot of immigrant related families have is sometimes they won't speak the language where they're from with the younger generations, and so the language gets lost with them. And someone who could be bilingual or trilingual or quadlingual is now just single languaged because they they never got the chance to learn the language because it was never spoken in the home. Mainly because you want your kid to learn English. I don't know why I have hair in my mouth. This is why I gotta stop scratching my head. And I also gotta shape up my beard, but you don't want your kid to not be able to speak English, which is a big concern for a lot of immigrants, like a lot of immigrant generations, because if they weren't from an area that had English, then they had to learn English, and some of them never really fully learned it. However, when you're a kid, you absorb whatever language is around you, and that's why, like, one thing I'm still upset about to this day is like I never learned Creole fully. I'm learning Japanese, which isn't one of my native languages, but it's something that I wanted to learn. I've been to Japan already, and my Japanese was good enough to get around and get what I needed done and have and hold simple conversations. But I don't know. I feel like that line means a little more to me sometimes, especially in this context. Um, yeah. I mean, as always, guys, I love doing these. I did say I would bring you guys more Billy Woods. People definitely did say they liked it. When I did Dour Candy, I know I said I would have some more Billy Woods related stuff coming out within the month, and I wasn't able to. I got swamped with a couple of things. So I came out this month, 2 months late. Well, I'm a month late technically. But we're here. That's what matters. This is really cool stuff to me. And I don't know. It's a lot of fun to be able to do this, and I have a lot of fun making these, and this is music that I genuinely enjoy. Um, I do want to go through more of Armand Hammer's older albums. This one's almost 10 years old. It will be as of next year on November 3rd. Um, I definitely want to go through some more of Billy Wood's albums. I think the next one I'm going to do is History Will Absolve Me. And the next one I'm going to do for Armand Hammer will probably be race music. And those will probably come out this month, if not the month after. As always, I love doing these. I love making these, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.